Now that you've learned about the macronutrients, we're going to switch over to the micronutrients. We're going to start talking about what they are. There's 3 types: minerals, vitamins, and phytonutrients. Under the minerals, we've got major and trace. Under vitamins, there's fat and water soluble. After we talk about what they are, we'll talk about how do we get them in the diet. We'll talk about some practical hacks and practical takeaways. Micronutrients are nutrients that are needed in small amounts by the body to properly function. Now this is in comparison to our macronutrients, where we need large amounts in our diet to properly function. Again, these are our minerals, our vitamins, and our phytonutrients. They do not provide calories or energy like the carbohydrates and protein and fat do. With minerals, these are 16 inorganic nutrients that we need for cell function, growth, and development. They are essential nutrients, meaning the body will not produce them on their own. We need to get them from an external source, primarily our diet. The 2 types, major minerals and trace minerals. Let's start with the major minerals. Our body requires a significant amount of these types of minerals on a daily basis for it to properly function. We're going to look at each one of these in a little more depth, starting with calcium. What do we need calcium for? Bone and teeth health, muscle and nerve function, and regulation of our pH in our blood. Where do we get it? Primarily our dairy sources. Also dark leafy greens and sardines, especially when they have the bones in them. Magnesium, this is one of the most important minerals for the body. It's responsible for well over 300 biochemical and enzymatic functions, including bone health, regulation of blood sugar and inflammation, calming the nervous system, and also supporting our mood. Where do we find magnesium in our diet? Legumes, nuts and seeds, and dark leafy greens. Sodium. Sodium is used to regulate our blood pressure and our blood volume. Also electrolyte and fluid balance, and muscle and nerve function. We're going to find sodium primarily in processed foods and our salt. Chloride also helps to regulate blood pressure, electrolyte and fluid balance, and also the pH in our blood. Same types of food sources, our processed foods as well as our salt sources. Potassium helps to regulate blood pressure, electrolyte and fluid balance, and kidney health. And where we find potassium in the diet is a lot of our plants. Avocados, bananas, legumes, beets, dark leafy greens, and potatoes are some of the highest sources. Phosphorus is needed for bone and teeth health, cell and tissue growth and repair, DNA, protein, and energy production. And where we find phosphorus? Fish, eggs, meat, poultry, and dairy. So are animal products. And sulfur. We need sulfur for our cell structure, connective tissue health, regulation of inflammation and pain, metabolism, skin, hair, and nail health, and production of insulin. And where we find this in our diet is legumes, eggs, fish, meat, poultry, dairy, and nuts. Now what about trace minerals? So unlike the major minerals, we need small amounts of these for proper functioning. Chromium. Chromium is useful for helping to regulate blood sugar, bone and brain health, heart, skin, and eye health, digestion, and energy production. We find this in barley, broccoli, green beans, oats, and tomatoes. Fluoride is useful for our bone and teeth health, and it may disrupt thyroid function. If you go way back in history when you were in elementary school and you were learning the periodic table, when you look at the halides, so the column that has iodine in it. So we know iodine is going to be critical for our thyroid health. So anything else in that same column is going to compete with iodine, fluoride being one of these. Where do we find fluoride? Primarily in our drinking water, fish, and tea. Iodine, we just gave you a sneak peek on that one, primarily beneficial for our thyroid function. Our thyroid hormones are made up of iodine atoms. Cellular energy and metabolism. Where do we find iodine in our diet? Seafood and shellfish, seaweed, and eggs. Iron. We need iron for energy production, oxygen transport, immunity, red blood cell production. Where do we find it? Legumes, dark leafy greens, eggs, organ meats, and basically any type of animal protein. You might need a vitamin C source to help increase the absorption, especially when it's coming from a plant source. Copper. Copper supports antioxidant functions, cell and tissue growth and repair, bone and nervous system health, cholesterol balance, and energy production. We're going to find copper in dried apricots, asparagus, dark chocolate, dark leafy greens, lentils, beef liver, mushrooms, and nuts and seeds. Molybdenum is beneficial for blood health, enzyme production, and metabolism. And we find this in barley, legumes, oats, and peas. Selenium also supports our immune system and antioxidant protection, DNA and protein production, heart, thyroid, and reproductive health. We're going to find this primarily in asparagus, beef, Brazil nuts, mushrooms, organ meats, oysters, poultry, seafood, and tofu. You only need a couple Brazil nuts a day to give you your full day's allotment of selenium. So that's a very high source. Zinc is critical for our immune system, metabolism, and testosterone production. Sources include asparagus, legumes, beef, poultry, lamb, oysters, seeds such as pumpkin and sesame, spinach, and mushrooms. And manganese. Manganese also has antioxidant protection, blood sugar regulation, bone health, skin, hair, and nail health properties. Where we find it primarily in our diet, legumes, dark leafy greens, oats, pineapple, brown rice, seeds, and spices, such as cinnamon, cloves, and turmeric. You probably saw a common theme throughout these minerals and what their function is in the body, as well as where we find it in our diet. So there are lots of animal sources listed, but a lot more of our colorful plants. So now let's switch over to vitamins. These are essential for body function in regards to cell function and growth and development. There's 13 vitamins that are essential, again, meaning the body cannot produce them, so we need to get them from an external source. Primarily our diet, but it may also be through supplementation if we need. The two categories, fat-soluble and water-soluble. Our fat-soluble vitamins require fat and bile for absorption. So we need to make sure that our digestive system is working properly and that our organs can produce the bile, store the bile, and release it when we have fat coming in through the diet to assist with that absorption. So that may take into account the gallbladder. How healthy is your gallbladder, or do you even have one? These fat-soluble vitamins are stored in fat cells and liver until the body needs them. Now, excess can build up in the body and cause damage, so more is not better when it comes to fat-soluble vitamins. And they do not need to be eaten daily for that reason. One of the fat-soluble vitamins is vitamin A. You can see that there's a great need for it within the body, such as cell growth and development. It controls inflammation. It is beneficial for eye health and vision, gene expression, immunity, red blood cell production, and reproductive health, as well as prenatal and postnatal development. Where do we get it in the diet? Bell peppers, cantaloupe, carrots, dark leafy greens, liver, sweet potatoes, tropical fruit, and fish. What about vitamin D? That's probably the most important vitamin that we can talk about ever. Vitamin D is very critical for bone health, cell growth and development, immunity, blood sugar regulation, metabolism, mood balance, also in regards to our inflammation, lowering the inflammation. Where do we get it? This is our sunshine vitamin. So our best source is to get it from the sun and help that production in our body through our skin. Through food, you're going to get it primarily through egg yolks, beef liver, mackerel, sardines, salmon, and fortified dairy. Vitamin E supports antioxidant production, brain and cognitive health, immunity, and eye health. We get this primarily through almonds, avocados, sunflower seeds, and dark leafy greens. Vitamin K is critical for blood clotting, heart and bone health, cellular functioning, and soft tissue integrity, which helps to prevent calcification in the arteries. Where we get vitamin K in the diet are our dark leafy greens, asparagus, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, cauliflower, and bok choy. What about water-soluble vitamins? These vitamins will dissolve in water and they're going to be used much more readily by the body. They are not stored like our fat-soluble vitamins. Our body will eliminate what it doesn't need or use. So we do need to replenish these on a daily basis. Biotin helps to regulate blood sugar, helps with skin, hair, and nail health, and prenatal development. We find biotin in almonds, carrots, eggs, liver, oats, onions, peanuts, salmon, sweet potatoes, tomatoes, and walnuts. Quite a list. Pantothenic acid helps with heart and skin health as well as wound healing, energy production, and fat metabolism. We find this in avocado, broccoli, poultry, fish, legumes, organ meats, shellfish, and mushrooms. Now what about the B vitamins? There's going to be several, so I'm going to lump three together here, B1, B2, and B3. And the functions of our B vitamins are antioxidant production, energy production, and heart health, as well as metabolism. So our B vitamins act as cofactors. They are going to be used in the pathway to make energy at the cellular level. So your Krebs cycle and your electron transport chain. So B1 or thiamine is specific to brain and cognitive health and nervous system support. You'll find it in barley, legumes, oats, peas, and sunflower seeds. B2 or riboflavin is used oftentimes therapeutically for migraine prevention, also used for red blood cell production within the body. And you're going to find this in almonds, asparagus, broccoli, beef, poultry, eggs, seafood, soy, leafy greens, and dairy. B3 or niacin supports lipid metabolism. It helps to lower low density or lousy cholesterol as well as triglycerides and increase HDL, which is happy cholesterol, high density lipoprotein. We'll find this in beef, poultry, salmon, tuna, lamb, and brown rice. B6 is shown to help with brain, heart, and nervous system health, as well as helps to control inflammation and hormone function. So B6 is used therapeutically in PMS situations where you have significant symptomology around your menstrual cycle. Also supports immunity, metabolism, mood support, and liver function. The sources: banana, beef, poultry, salmon, tuna, sunflower seeds, and potatoes. B9, known as folate, is very beneficial for brain, heart, and nervous system health, cancer prevention, mood balance, reproductive health and prenatal development, and red blood cell production. Where we find it in the diet: asparagus, legumes, dark leafy greens, and broccoli. B12, also helpful for brain, heart, bone, and nervous system health, cancer prevention, DNA and energy production, and mood balance. The sources are going to be primarily in our animal sources, such as beef, poultry, seafood, dairy, eggs, and lamb. And vitamin C, which supports antioxidant protection, brain, bone, and nervous system health, heart, kidney, and eye health, immunity, mood balance, skin, hair, and nail health. Where we find vitamin C: bell peppers, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, cauliflower, dark leafy greens, citrus fruits and tropical fruits, strawberries, and tomatoes. What about phytonutrients, also known as phytochemicals? These are natural compounds that are found in all plant foods. In fact, they have found over 25,000 of these compounds in nature. The sources are going to be our fruits and vegetables, whole grains, legumes, herbs and spices, teas, and nuts and seeds. The health benefits in our body are many, and it does correlate with the color of the food. So elimination of toxins, detoxification, hormone balance, immune support, and cell protection. What's going to be important when we talk plants, especially our fruits and our vegetables, are which are clean and which are dirty. So if you're familiar with the Environmental Working Group, EWG.org, a nonprofit organization that really gives a lot of resources and education around how to live our life healthy, from our diet to our environment. And so this list is the Dirty Dozen, are the 12 crops that are heavily sprayed with chemicals and pesticides. So they're dirty. And so we would want to buy those organic. So especially when it comes down to our budget, where do we spend extra money? In this case, go organic with the foods that are on the left under the Dirty Dozen list, and then go ahead and buy conventional if needed financially, because those crops don't use the same amount of chemicals and pesticides. So those are cleaner. So not as detrimental if you get them conventionally produced. So when we talk fruits and vegetables, the rainbow matters. Every single color has a different functionality in the body. So a good goal is to strive for 1 to 2 servings a day of each color of the rainbow. And we're going to talk more about that. So colors matter. What does red do for us? Cancer prevention, DNA, prostate and vascular health, immunity, and anti-inflammatory support. These would be things like your red apples, red beans, beets, red bell peppers, cherries, cranberries, tomatoes, and berries. More like your strawberries, so things that are going to be red. What about orange? Orange also supports with cancer prevention, immunity, it's antibacterial, supports skin health and reproductive health. We find these in apricots, orange bell peppers, cantaloupes, carrot, mango, nectarine, oranges, pumpkins, winter squash, sweet potatoes, and turmeric. Yellow. Yellow also supports with cancer prevention. It's anti-inflammatory, supports brain and cognitive health, eye, heart, and skin health, and vascular health. Here you're going to find it in Asian pears, bananas, yellow bell peppers, corn, ginger, lemon, pineapple, and summer squash. What about green? You're seeing a common theme here too, aren't you? Cancer prevention, anti-inflammatory, brain and heart health, hormone balance, skin, and liver health. Here you can see there's a long list of green foods to find in the grocery store. Artichoke, asparagus, avocado, green bell peppers, bok choy, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, celery, cucumber, green beans, green tea, dark leafy greens, lime, pear, and zucchini. Then we've got the blue, purple, and black. These also help prevent cancer, they're anti-inflammatory, and they support heart and cognitive health. So this would be purple bell peppers. They're not as easy to find, they're more seasonal. There's also your berries, so your blueberries, your blackberries. Cabbage, in this case, your purple cabbage. There's also purple carrots, eggplant, figs, purple grapes, olives, plums, prunes, and black rice. Then we have the white, tan, and brown group. This also helps to prevent cancer. It's antimicrobial, GI and heart health, hormone balance, and liver health. So these are foods like cauliflower, cocoa, coconut, coffee, dates, garlic, ginger, jicama, legumes, mushrooms, nuts, onion, sauerkraut, seeds, shallots, soy, tea, and whole grains. So what are some easy hacks? Now that we've got this whole laundry list of colorful fruits and vegetables, and our trace and our major minerals and our vitamins, water and fat soluble, what do? Smoothies are a great way to start your day because you can add everything to a smoothie. From colorful berries to leafy greens to avocado to seeds and nuts to turmeric and or cinnamon. Colorful salads, another excellent way. And I always encourage my clients to vary it up. Don't do the same thing day after day. Buy new foods that you've never tried before or things that you don't eat on a regular basis each and every week so that you have a variety and a diversity of foods coming in. So those could be vegetables, add some fruit, add some nuts and seeds, add some beans. Cut up vegetables and vary this weekly and use it to dip with hummus, guacamole, or non-dairy dips. Quick and easy slaws. This is one of our easy hacks that we'll do. We'll get a kale slaw. We'll add some broccoli sprouts. We'll put in some pumpkin seeds. Might add a few berries in there, and then make our own salad dressing. Always include veggies for dinner. So whether it's a side salad, you make some roasted vegetables, steamed vegetables, fresh with those dips, or a slaw. Always have vegetables included at your lunch and dinner, and even in your breakfast when you do your smoothies. Stir fries are one of my favorites. So easy to get all of those colors, all of those diversity and variety of plants within your meal. Adding herbs and spices and nuts as well. So what are our practical takeaways? When you're meal planning, plan for colorful plants. Strive for 9 to 11 servings a day. Not 1, not 5, but 9 to 11. So we do need to be cognizant and mindful of how are we going to get that in breakfast and lunch and dinner. And if you need a snack, how can we make that vegetable based? Go for more colors of the rainbow, 1 to 2 servings per color a day. Add your herbs and spices and add your nuts and seeds. Diversify and get variety. Don't put the blinders on when you go into the grocery store. Take those off. Look at the shelves. Look at the produce aisles. Try something new each and every week. And go onto the internet and find a new recipe so that, again, it gives you some more excitement. It does not have to be hard or laborious, but find something new to do each and every week. So with that, I wish you well and happy eating. Bye.